Look at that. Just like magic, I'm live. Well, hello there. Hope you're doing well. It is Tuesday the 17th. Yeah, 17th. I've been messing around with so many things. I don't know what time it is or what day it is. I barely remembered to click go live. But anyway, I did remember. Thank goodness. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well and that summer's off to a good start. It's been nice here in Northern Oregon. We had a little hot spell. Now it's kind of cooled down a little bit. We might get a little rain this coming weekend. That'd be nice. But how's everybody's voiceover endeavors going? Today I've been working on. Oh, I was going to show you. I can't share my screen from this platform. I've been working on a project where I am kind of dubbing, but not really. It's more like time syncing my audio to an existing audio from another language. In this case, it's German. And I've done a bunch of these before. I've got several clients in Germany that come to me from time to time to do this kind of thing. Only this time, it's a little more fun because I'm actually instead of replacing the another voice actor's voice, I am replacing the voice of an on-screen actor. So that's a little bit more challenging, at least for me and also for the video editor, because we're trying to sort of dub here. I'm not sure if maybe I'm not sure if dubbing is the right word. I guess it is. But there's a second character, and that's an animated little thing. I can't go into too much detail here, but it's an animated one that I'm obviously doing in another voice. It's a character voice. It's a lot of fun, and I don't think I have to be quite as on target with that because they can manipulate the animation. But anyway, it's a pretty cool process, and I just hit kind of a stumbling block because it seems like the new script has changed a little bit from the old script. There's more dialogue, and I can hear it in the German language. I can hear it progressing, but there are these other sentences and phrases that don't fit in where it shows on my script. So I'm like, hmm, what do I do here, guys? so so anyway, so that's something I still have to work through. But it's fun. It's challenging. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned this, but one of the I think it was well, no, it was one of the first 5 jobs I ever got. I had decided to join Voice 123. This is years and years ago. And the first job I got from this uh, platform was from a company in Brazil where I was replacing the Brazilian voice with my neutral American whatever this is coming out of this pie hole right here. Um, so, so, and so, okay, I thought, oh, how exciting. And the rate sounded pretty decent. And it was, except for the fact that I didn't know what I was doing with time syncing my audio to an existing track. And I had to learn that on the fly. And it was a challenge, man. It took me forever. And then, I wasn't really that well versed with audio processing at that time digitally. And, well, what happened was they were very happy with my work when I finally got it turned in, and I couldn't really discuss anything with them because their English wasn't much better than my Portuguese, which was that was a real challenge. Anyway, it was trial by fire. I got through it. The audio ended up sounding kind of crappy on YouTube because frankly, it was overprocessed. And so, man, but what an experience. I went on to do a lot more work with them. But Yeah, that was kinda crazy. So anyway, as it turns out, one of my very first jobs is I'm still kind of doing that work, and I really enjoy it, especially when it's a language that I have a little bit more of an understanding with. I can get my head around German much more than I can Portuguese. So, but even then, Portuguese, you can still kind of pick out, pronouns, names of cities and people and things like that. So the disconnect isn't, it just you just have to use your ears and follow along as best you can. So anyway, that's what I've been working on today. Hey, and there's something else I wanted to mention, and that was, whenever we talk about getting into a new venture like voiceover as a business, we always talk about this concept of time and that it's going to take time. And so I was kind of wondering, I was kind of thinking about that, and and the question I kept coming back to is, why are we, myself included, why are we always in such a hurry to get things going? Are humans impatient creatures? And because man, I am. That's one of my biggest character defects is uh my impatience. Waiting. Come on. And I was like that when I was starting my voiceover business, just like everybody else probably is. But now that I'm kind of on the other side of that, I've been working at this for a decade and a half, and I'm so I can appreciate the time it takes better on this side of it than I could at the beginning. Even though when I still get involved in new ventures, which I always do, I'm always like trying out new things. And yeah, but that impatience just crops back up. But I know intellectually that it's better to take the time to do something right than to rush through it, do a half-assed job that's sloppy, and that anybody with a brain in their skull is going to look at what I'm trying to offer them if I've rushed through it and go, meh, pass, you know. So it's a tough balance being patient enough to do things right and put out a good product versus trying to rush something just to be able to get it in and think that that speed is the ultimate accomplishment. It's not. It's quality. Quality. Now, if you can do things quickly with a high level of quality and make sure all the other T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and everything else, well, that's wonderful. Awesome. Good for you. But, if it takes you more time to do something right, by all means, take the time. And that includes with getting your voiceover career going. You know, this is why, we always say, don't give up your day job. You're gonna need an income because it can take a while to get an income going in voiceover business just because it takes that kind of time, whether you try to rush it or not, to establish yourself and gain the trust of the marketplace, clients. It's not easy. So I would encourage you to take the time, even though if it goes against every fiber of your being. Be patient. Work on your acting skills, work on your technical skills, work on your business skills and setting that up correctly. Take the time to formulate your communications in a business-like manner. I can't tell you how many times I've been faced with emails that read like a 12-year-old was writing me a text, you know? It's just like, choppy and everything's shortened and condensed and there's no punctuation. It's just like, come on, you know? It's sloppy, and it's just kinda like, you know? I wanna deal with professionals, I wanna work with professionals. Fun, creative, exciting, goofy professionals perhaps, but not, you know, slobs. I don't mean to sound like I'm looking down my nose at anybody. I don't because I'm just as much of a gross slob as the next person, but at least I try to have a professional appearance when working with other professionals. I don't wanna look like the dumbest guy in the room, even though I usually am. I don't know, maybe that's a little harsh, but anyway, so I was just thinking about that concept of time and why we push so hard. Here's something else that I was thinking about, and that this can be a very lonely business. You know, I'm in here every day for much of the day by myself, communicating via email to my clients. And, so and it's worse now than it was back when I was getting started, because when I was first getting started, because I didn't have much in the way of clients to reach out to and communicate with, I was reaching out and communicating with other voice actors that were kind of at my level of the game. We would get together, we'd congregate at a restaurant and have a dinner together, and we'd talk shop. Um, Eventually, a few of us split away from that larger group because we felt like we had more of a connection, and we'd try to get together once a month. Um, there was more congregation of like-minded people for support and for laughs, especially because, when you work in a business like this that's a little different, nobody else gets it. And so it's fun to commiserate with like-minded people, and I would encourage all of you, and I would encourage myself to be more social that way, because it really does help. It does help to talk things out with people, share ideas, share experiences, maybe get a lead. I've gotten business leads from fellow voice actors before, and I've given them freely. If I can't help directly, hey, well, I probably know somebody who can. So anyway, just incorporating people into the mix, other people, even if it's not other voice actors, but it's audio producers or website designers, or that kind of thing. It's nice to have a little sort of consortium of people that you can give a shout out to now and again, and have a laugh. So um, anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the concept of time, and how impatient I am, and how how the concept of taking the time that's required to do things right can be so difficult sometimes, but it's definitely worth the reward in the end. And also just the thought of coming together with other people, other like-minded people striving for the same goals, um, can really help, and it's usually a lot of fun. So, anyway, that's it. I've yammered on for too long. It's been 13 minutes already. Good Lord. Okay. Oh, one other thing before I let you go. In the description down below, there is a link to sign up for my email list. And you're probably going, "Oh god, why would I wanna do that?" Well, it's the main thing is for me not to inundate with you with emails, because I don't like receiving those, so why would I wanna do that to anybody else unless I had something to offer once in a while? And this time I do have something to offer. It's a free, voiceover career, basics. That's what I call it, voiceover career basics. It's a handbook. It's an e-handbook, and it's got, it's not terribly long, but it's just a good sort of roadmap to get things started in the right direction. So anyway, check it out, and and I promise I won't abuse your email. And so Sosa, hello. I do not understand the language that you're saying something about baking soda or peroxide. Anyway, I'm sorry, I can't understand any more than that. But anyway, so check out that email, or that sign up and the handbook. And I hope to see you again next time. Remember, this is available every Tuesday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. Okay. Best wishes to you and all your voiceover endeavors, and until next time, take it easy.